Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news, all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most seismic moves the Packers have considered in recent memory. The buzz around the NFL is swirling that Green Bay is eyeing a potential blockbuster trade involving one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league right now, Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns. And if this trade happens, it could totally reshape the NFC North, turning the Packers into an even more formidable force heading into the playoffs and beyond. Now, I know what you're thinking. Myles Garrett, that's a name that commands respect. The guy has been a game changer since he was drafted in 2017. With over 520 tackles and more than 110 sacks, Garrett's stats speak volumes. His PFF grade, an incredible 93, won for his entire career. He's been a 6-time Pro Bowler and just earned Defensive Player of the Year honors in 2023. That's the kind of talent that can flip a game in an instant. And for the Packers, adding a player of his caliber would be a game changer. Let's break down the details that are circulating about this potential move. According to some sources, Cleveland is currently sitting at a 5-7 record with their defense struggling, giving up an average of 24.2 points per game. Their defense has lacked consistency, and they're at a crossroads. Cleveland's thinking, apparently, is to rebuild. The Browns are reportedly willing to part ways with Garrett in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft and a third-rounder in 2027. That's a huge haul, but it makes sense when you consider their cap situation and their desire to rebuild around young players and draft assets. Cleveland's cap space is around $18 million, and with Garrett's hefty cap hit of around $34 million in 2026, they're looking at long-term financial flexibility. They're prioritizing rebuilding their offensive line, bolstering their quarterback situation, and clearing space to develop their future stars. It's a common theme these days. Teams like the Broncos have been selling veterans for cap relief, focusing on youth and draft capital to compete in a highly competitive division like the AFC North. On the other side, the Packers, sitting at a solid 7-5, are desperate to boost their pass rush to secure a playoff spot. They see Garrett as a true titan of the edge rush, a player who can bring relentless pressure and disrupt opposing quarterbacks at will. Adding him to a defense that's already showing promise could be the missing piece to push them over the top, especially considering their defensive stats, allowing just 21.8 points per game. Garrett's presence could elevate their pressure rate, sack numbers, and overall defensive efficiency. Think about it. Garrett's recent performance in 2025 has been nothing short of spectacular. In just 13 games, he's accumulated 25 sacks for 132 yards, along with 4 forced fumbles and a pressure rate of around 23%. His ability to get after the quarterback is elite, and his impact on the Browns' defense has been profound. In 2024, his pressures soared, totaling over 190, making him one of the most disruptive players in the league. His bull rushes and explosiveness off the line are a nightmare for offensive linemen, and that's exactly what the Packers need, a true game wrecker on the edge. Now, what would the impact of this trade be for Green Bay? Well, first off, it's a massive boost to their pass rush. The current edge players like Preston Smith and Rashan Gary have been solid but not game-breaking. Garrett's addition would push the team's sacks from their current projection, around 42, to upwards of 56 or 58, significantly improving their ability to generate pressure, force turnovers, and shorten opponents' drives. It would also reduce the number of big plays allowed, leading to fewer points scored against them. Furthermore, this move could have a ripple effect across their entire defense. The added pressure from Garrett would free up other players, allowing them to focus on coverage schemes and eliminating the need to blitz as often. This would improve the secondary and create a more balanced and aggressive defensive unit. For a team that's already showing signs of improvement this season, especially with quarterback Jordan Love playing with poise and confidence, this could be the final piece they need to become a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Let's put some numbers into perspective. Currently, the Packers' defense is allowing about 21.8 points per game, but their pressure rate and sack numbers are slightly below league average. Adding Garrett with his recent stats, 20, 5 sacks and 30 QB hits in just 13 games, would increase their sack total by at least 14 to 16, pushing their total to over 55, which is elite in today's NFL. That's not just a small bump, it's a game changer. And when you consider their offensive side, led by Jordan Love, averaging 25, 6 points per game, that added defensive punch would give Green Bay an even better shot at winning close games. In terms of playoff implications, this move could be a real catalyst. NFL analytics show that teams with elite pass rushers tend to have a higher chance of winning in January. Adding Garrett would bump up Green Bay's win probability by around 15% in close games and significantly improve their chances against divisional rivals like the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings. The Lions, for example, are currently at plus 800 odds to win the NFC North, but if the Packers land Garrett and bolster their defense, those odds could shift dramatically in their favor. It's easy to see why Green Bay's front office is exploring this possibility. It's a move that could elevate them from playoff hopefuls to serious Super Bowl contenders. Now, what about the bigger picture? If this trade goes through, it could set the tone for a new era in Green Bay. Imagine a defense anchored by a dominant pass rusher like Garrett, paired with a young, talented core that includes players like Rashan Gary and a secondary that's improving every week. It would be a statement to the NFC that the Packers are not just rebuilding, they're reloading for a deep playoff run. And for Garrett, coming to Green Bay would mean joining a franchise with a rich history, a passionate fan base, and a chance to chase a Super Bowl ring in what could be the prime years of his career. Of course, there are questions. Will Cleveland be willing to part with Garrett? Can the Packers afford the cap hit in 2026? Will this trade create chemistry issues or disrupt team chemistry? Those are all valid concerns, but if history has taught us anything, the NFL is about bold moves. Sometimes the biggest risks lead to the greatest rewards. And right now, Green Bay might be at that crossroads, ready to make a move that cements their status as a top contender for years to come. As we look ahead, the NFL trade deadline or offseason could be the perfect window for this deal to happen. The Packers have shown they're not shy about making bold moves, and with the right package of picks, they could land one of the league's most feared pass rushers. It's a bold strategy, but one that could pay off handsomely, especially if it helps them chase another Lombardi trophy. So, Green Bay fans, keep your eyes peeled. This is the kind of move that could define a franchise's destiny. Garrett's talent, combined with the Packers' current trajectory and their desire to re-establish dominance, makes this story one of the most exciting in recent NFL history. Imagine the roar of Lambeau Field when Garrett sacks the quarterback. Those moments could become more frequent if this trade becomes a reality. The future is bright, and with a move like this, the Green Bay Packers could be on the cusp of something truly special. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Packers. Do you think this trade makes sense? Are you excited about the possibility of Garrett donning the green and gold? Or do you think Cleveland should hold on to him and try to rebuild around him? Whatever your thoughts are, I want to know. This is what makes being part of the Packers family so special. The passion, the debates, the hope for another Super Bowl run. So share your opinions, and don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis. Stay tuned, and as always, go Pack Go.